Hi everybody, welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. So what's in store for you here tonight? Folks, again, back on April 1st, 2025, the world mourned the loss of one of the greats of our time, Val Kilmer. I grew up on Val Kilmer and a large number of his films, and he's one of the few actors that I can remember following their career from the moment I became aware of them until he just passed most recently. First film I got a chance to see him in was Batman Forever. He immediately became my Batman, my Bruce Wayne, and I've carried that thought for decades at this point. Kilmer also lit up the screen in such films like Tombstone as Doc Holliday, Top Gun as Maverick, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Spartan, and so many others. And I decided tonight, in tribute to him, I wanted to take a look at one of the few horror films that he did back in the mid to late 90s. This is a favorite of mine and of a lot of yours as well too. In movie reviews, I'm talking The Ghost and the Darkness. But let's not waste any time here. Let's jump right on into things. If you haven't seen the trailer for The Ghost and the Darkness before, this tells the story of Colonel John Henry Patterson. He's sent to Savo, Kenya in order to help finish construction of a railway after a recent lion attack has left the project in shambles. Patterson soon realizes that the lions are targeting the laborers themselves and resolves to end the menace with the help of a local hunter. That's The Ghost in the Darkness, folks. So, I remember seeing this back in either late 97 or early 96. I was living in Australia at the time, and by the time that I had seen this, I hadn't really seen a lot of killer animal films. Any of these other films to where like animals are suddenly now the deadly menace, I wasn't used to that. And that stands out to me because after I had seen a number of these films, I started understanding the real true horror behind it. It's easy to look at animals that we might see in our everyday life or we see in Disney movies, cartoons, the zoo, whatever, and not really think about the true danger of what would happen if it was just us alone with these animals in their natural environment. And had you given me just a few years, let me see The Edge, let me see Anaconda, all these other movies, my thought process going into this likely would have changed. But instead, hey, it's Batman, he's fighting lions. I'm into that. Let's go and check this one out. And I got way, way more than I honestly bargained for with this one. Now, Val Kilmer here plays Colonel John Henry Patterson. And Patterson's whole ordeal is that he wants to get home with his wife as she's pregnant currently with his first child, and he wants to make sure that he's around for that. And he doesn't really care that much of the plight of the African people that surround him, these workers that are being killed, this man that wants this bridge done. He's just looking to finish this job so he can get back home to his family. And I love the progression here that John might not care, but he has respect for these people. And as these attacks become more frequent, as they continue on, you start to see him looking to protect all these people that are around him. It's truly his responsibility now that he stepped into it. And I found that so interesting just because of the fact that typically around the time frame that this is set, and a person who's in the military like he is, especially the British military, likely is not coming to the aid of these workers with any kind of compassion or sympathy or anything like that. So this was a nice role for Kilmer. He still gets to play the hard edge role at the beginning of it. But again, as the movie keeps on going on, we begin to get to see the desperation to where he wants to get this done. And it's at a point to where he might not even care if he dies anymore. He just wants to make sure to take this menace out as he begins to even have dreams of these lions killing his own family. This movie really is based on a true story. The Savo man-eaters, these are real actual lions that are out there that currently they're in a zoo, not a zoo, a museum in Chicago, I believe. It is interesting to note here that these were not lions that had manes on them. I think it's very easy when somebody says a lion to think of like Simba or Mufasa or Scar in The Lion King, like these gigantic regal creatures that are beautiful, but the real life Savo lions didn't have those manes. They looked very similar to lionesses, honestly, from those who, aren't aware of the differences in the looks between them. And the lions truly are scary in this movie as well, just as scary as any monster, ghoul, goblin, demon, serial killer that we could see in a horror film at that time. Because again, the story is presented that the lions are specifically targeting the workers on this railway project. So we see numerous scenes to where they're going out of their way to attack innocent innocent people in this. And that screams horror film just like any of the other ones, like Scream, I know what you did last summer, Anaconda, all these films that are coming out there at that particular time. And it's a great choice to show it. There's a scene to where Patterson's trying to set a trap for the lions to come, to where like they've laid all this blood and gore and viscera around this hospital they had set up, while they sent the patients and the doctor to a completely different area. And the lions completely outsmart them and end up going to this makeshift hospital that they made instead, in this really gruesome sequence of them attacking everybody that's in there. And so the Ghost in the Darkness very much shows us these lions, we're living with them. And to be honest, in a film like this, it helped add more scares to it, because by the end of the film, I feel it's hard not to look at these lions and truly feel that tingle on the back of your spine after you see everything that they've done. And that's amplified by Michael Douglas's character, Charles Remington. It's interesting because if you've seen the marketing for this film, if you look at the posters for it, Michael Douglas takes top billing on this, and yet and still he is not in a lot of this movie. Again, the poster and the marketing would have you think that he's just in this movie throughout it, and in all reality, it's only about 20-25 minutes or so that he's actually in this film. And his character Remington does bring a presence with him. This is a guy that's been hunting lions and other kind of predators for quite a while at this point. He's got a respect for them. He's got a respect for the people of Tsavo, of Kenya, where they're at as well too. And he knows that you can't just take these lions at face value. You have to show them the respect that they deserve. And granted, him coming in is supposed to offer that comfort not only to Patterson, but to everybody else, the audience even, that this is going to be resolved. They are able to kill, one of the lions, but unfortunately, this ends with the death of Remington in the middle of the night. And as a kid, I wasn't so used to characters being killed off screen. You've grown a connection to that particular character. And with Remington, I thought Remington was so suave and charming in this film. And I thought him being there guarantees that Kilmer is going to make it out as well. He's the expert in this case. So when his character is killed, it freaked me out because that's supposed to be the expert. And I didn't have enough knowledge at the time to understand that's great storytelling at that point, because you have to leave the inexperienced guy who now has to be forced to get through this on their own. They have to figure the plan out to themselves. And Kilmer's desperation that you see on Patterson's face after Remington is killed off, like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? This man who has saved my life, and this man who has brought hope not only to me, but to everybody around, is gone. And now it shifts back to me, because Patterson gets a chance to breathe a little bit when Remington shows up, because now the entire pressure doesn't fall onto him. But with Remington dead, everything goes back onto his shoulders. And you see just the anger swell up. You see at this point, Patterson doesn't even care about his life anymore, because he wants to honor this man. He wants to finish this job. He wants to do what he was hired to do, and maybe thinks that by killing the lion and by completing this railway, it brings honor back to him, and it honors Remington in this case as well. So again, Kilmer, just in his 90s bag. I know Top Gun is right outside of that, but I feel that in every single project you can look at Val Kilmer in the 90s, including The Island of Dr. Moreau, you're getting something so excellent about his performances in each project that came out there. It is truly a masterclass in acting. Val Kilmer was one of the greats, and just a fantastic thriller for the 90s as well too. It's bloody, it's brutal, we have great characters in it, and there's a real sense of connection with our leads in this that you want to see them succeed. I think even the addition of Samuel, played by John Connie, who a lot of y'all will know as Rafiki in The Lion King. I think that friendship that he ends up forming with Patterson, and to a certain extent with Remington, is supposed to help balance and even things out. I don't know if I necessarily felt it was at the same level, because he doesn't really get a chance to contribute in the direct way that you would want him to contribute in. But I still think that Samuel's presence adds a lot to the movie, because it could just be these two white guys in Africa saving this town, and that might not have gone over so well. So it's just interesting looking at the dynamics here of this one. Regardless, this is a fantastic film. If you have not seen it before and you are looking for a great scary creature feature or animal feature, this is one I definitely recommend checking out. Let me know in the comment section here what you think of this one. Did you get a chance to go see it in theaters back in the mid to late 90s when it was coming out? Were you wrapped up in the Kilmer fever like I was with films like this, The Saint, Batman Forever, Tombstone? Let me know that too, y'all. And of course, get subscribed so you can stay up to date with everything that I'm dropping here on my channel. Best way to do that is go to linktr.ee/T scary movie. If you get subscribed, that's going to be access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio only versions of the show, my Letterboxd page for movie rankings and written reviews throughout the year, to my TikTok page for full episodes, movie news, and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for horror gaming, and my Fangoria shop page for a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button no matter where you are watching, especially if you're watching on YouTube or on TikTok. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Folks, I got so many great reviews coming up for you. We are continuing on in our looks at The Bondsman, the first season here. We're going to be looking at Borderline, Hell of a Summer. We got the Final Destination movies coming up, Black Mirror. I got so much stuff I don't want y'all to miss, but that's going to do it for me tonight. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.